TCS reports a good quarter. Revenue and margin beat street expectations. However, the management tells CNBC-TV18 while they're comfortable with deal win guidance of $7 to $9 billion, they also note that while no big deal cancellations are expected, there is an increasingly cautious tone to client discussions, as a result of which stock sees some profit taking.
Infosys says its board will consider buyback along with its second quarter numbers on Thursday, the 13th of October.
India Cement sells its subsidiary Springway Mining to JSW Cement for 477 crore rupees, implying a 20% debt reduction if the proceeds are used to repay loans. The street now awaits clarity over the company's plant in Banswara, Rajasthan.
Automotive Axle, well, that surges in trade after Cummins Inc. makes an offer to acquire 26% stake in the company.
Another small stock buzzing around, up 17%, Panacea Bio, as they won a long-term supply order worth nearly $127 million from UNICEF and Pan American Health Organization.
Hello and welcome to Chartbusters. I'm Nigel D'Souza and joining me is Mangala Malu. Well, as we speak, the market's a little bit under pressure, but just pull up the intraday chart of Automotive Axles. You know, that one is surging away. Cummins Inc. I don't think the street had really sniffed this, but Cummins Inc. they have gone ahead and they have offered to buy 26%. That's an open offer has been launched on the company, and that's why that one is spiking up. And BF Investments, that's a listed entity. Out of the total 71% stake that the promoter entity has, well, BF Investments has close to around 35.5% odd. There are two promoters in there. Meritor Heavy Vehicle Systems, that's the one I think that the buying entity, that's Cummins, has got into a deal with. And the other entity is BF Investments. So we'll try to get you more clarity on this, but this is clearly the big deal that's just been announced close to around 10 minutes or so ago. Mangala.
Hi, Nigel. So individual stocks are buzzing around, but for the market, we are seeing continuous weakness right now. We're at the low point of the trade for the index, holding around that 17,100 mark. Will be interesting to see where we go from here, primarily because there is a fair amount of profit taking that we're seeing in the IT pack, which is currently at the low point of trade. The Nifty Bank down 150 odd points, along with the pharmaceutical pack as well. Divi's Lab, for instance, down almost 3.5 odd percent. So some bit of profit taking is what we're seeing. So good time to get in a quick technical view on the market. Shivangi Sarda joins in with what she's been tracking on the charts. Shivangi, 17,100 back again. Where do we go from here?
Hello Mangalam, hello Nigel, thank you for having me. So we've seen, yesterday we did go open gap down, but we'd seen that, the bulls were back in action and they were performing good. And today, even after a positive opening, we've not been able to sustain. So somewhere there is pressure around in the entire market. India VIX, which was up even yesterday, has not cooled off, and it's still, near 20 zones, which is causing some discomfort to the bulls. And overall, the upside has become capped because of the lack of follow-up buying after the buying interest. So somewhere we are very stuck in a range. So, the range for looking forward would be 17,000 to 17,350. So this is the range we are looking at for Nifty. As of Bank Nifty, it is reacting a little, different from Nifty today. We've seen, the bulls are yet again acting at the lower levels, but again today we have the financial Nifty index expiry today, so we will be seeing some sort of movement in this entire space. 38,888 would act as an important level, and if it holds this level, it could move up to 39,250, or else we could see lower levels of 38,500.
Okay, all right. Hi, Shivangi. The trend has been in the last couple of days, if you buy the Nifty Bank on a 300-point odd cut, you'll be making some money. And even today, from the day's low, it's recovered close to around 120 points odd. So let's see whether or not the Nifty is now down 120 points. Maybe when it's around 140, 150 points lower, maybe, just maybe, risk-reward could favor a bit of a bounce. But you've given us market setup, Shivangi. What about individual stocks? What are you tracking?
So my first pick today would be from Asian Paint. So we've seen that, the crude oil and the dollar price movements have acted positive for this stock as of now. And if we see seasonality wise, the third quarter every year from the last one decade has been very positive for this stock. So I'm recommending a buy on Asian Paint, and as this stock is bottoming out with a target of 34.80 and a stop loss of 32.80. And the next trade would be on Tata Chemicals. We've seen that, this stock has given a Poland flag formation breakout on weekly frame, and we can see follow-up buying over here. It's holding above its 50 exponential moving average, which is acting quite positive. And we look at a target of 1250 over here with a stop loss of 1180.
All right, Shivangi, thanks a lot for joining in. We're looking at good moves coming in on Asian Paints, and why just that? In fact, from last hour of trade yesterday, there was a bit of a bounce that we saw in the FMCG pack. The previous few trading sessions was weak for the sector on account of the quarterly updates that were coming in, but Asian Paints at the high point of trade, along with we have Britannia, Nestle, all of them recovering. ITC too is sitting mildly above the flat line. That's from a long-term standpoint, but just today's trading session, you see Britannia at the high point along with Nestle. Let's move on then. Let's get you some ideas for profit coming in from our colleagues at Money Control Pro. Bharat Jinani joins in.
We'll speak on Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail. Post 2 years of disruptions owing to COVID-19, the consumer sentiment has been strong. Company expects robust demand momentum in the upcoming festive and the wedding season. The company is enhancing its distribution reach of the core lifestyle business under the Allen Solly, Van Heusen, Peter England and Louis Philippe brands, as well as for the value segment under the Pantaloons brand. The company is enhancing its retail stores as well as ramping up the online presence to reach the consumer directly. We expect continued market share gains for the core business. For the ethnic brands, the company is growing both via organic as well as inorganic route. For the innerwear and the athleisure segment, the company is ramping up its distribution reach. The company gained control of the Reebok India operations from the start of this month and aims to significantly ramp up the business. Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail is a comprehensive apparel player and is amongst our preferred picks in the retail space. As far as the valuation is concerned, the stock is trading at 59 times its FY24 projected earnings. Long-term investors can add the stock in the portfolio.
Thanks a lot for that, Bharat. Well, for the time being, we'll slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll get chatting with the management of Insecticides India. You stay with us.
This festival, bring in Nissan Magnite, big on dreams, bold in passion, beautiful in every drive. Rush to the nearest Nissan dealership now.
चेक जाना पड़ेगा।
अरे गेम छोड़ के
1 महीना हो गया कंप्लेंट किए हुए, बैंक रिफंड ही नहीं कर रहा है। कंप्लेंट करनी है।
अरे बैठिए बैठिए यहीं से कर लीजिए आरबीआई के ऑम्बुड्समैन को।
कैसे?
आरबीआई अधिकृत बैंक, एनबीएफसी या डिजिटल लेन देन के जितने भी प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं, उनकी शिकायत आप कर सकते हैं घर बैठे बैठे। आरबीआई के सीएमएस पोर्टल पर। ये हो गया चेकमेट। कंप्लेंट करेंगे क्या? आरबीआई कहता है
जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए।
Looking sharp.
Always.
I'm Aanchal Thakur. Come see my world through my eyes. A 100 million lights that highlight every detail. Only on Neo QLED 8K.
There's more of us in the squad today. There's a young one in the crew. There's a big boy in the gang. There's more color in the tribe. More styles in the wardrobe. We may look mean, but we're still the safest guys to be with. There's more punch, more legacy, more wow in us today. The original rock stars are rock stars still. But there's one thing we will be today and every day. New, now and forever. Tata Motors, new forever.
Welcome back. The Nifty now sitting around that 17,150 mark. A mild recovery from the lows is what we've seen. The stock on our radar, however, is Insecticides India, and that's primarily on account of a couple of factors. One, it has seen a big rally over the last 6 months, almost 75% higher. Secondly, the monsoon impact on their business. And thirdly, what does Forex do for them, the rupee depreciation that we're seeing at a record low versus the dollar? So let's get tracking the business with the management of the company. We do have with us the MD, Mr. Rajesh Agarwal. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining in. Before we get to the rainfall, etc., I just wanted to understand, the last time you had revised your exports guidance down from 200 crores to 150 odd crores, how does the rupee depreciation impact you? Is it a positive impact or a negative one? Because you do have a fair amount of imports as well.
Rupee depreciation is always negative, and at this time, when I talk about exports, most of the countries are not having the dollars. So we are finding it very, very difficult to get the LCs, and even if the LCs are coming, some LCs are not being entertained by the bankers in India. And in many cases, when people have to pay the advances, they are not able to give the advances or pay the final amount of money in time. So that is hampering the export front actually. And yes, the currency depreciation always impacts our imports also. So it has a hit on the company. These are the challenges which we have to face at the moment.
Numbers to it? I mean, what does that mean in terms of your margins? Could you put some numbers to that? Could you quantify the impact?
The voice.
Okay, all right, Rajesh, let me try.
Voice cracked actually.
Is it better right now, Rajesh? This is Nigel on this side. I hope I'm audible. Rajesh, can you hear us?
I think our audio is reaching to him in a scattered manner, just the way the rainfall was in this country. It was uneven at times, a lot at times, and sometimes it wasn't there as well. We'll probably try to repatch that connection with Mr. Agarwal, but for now he's saying that rupee depreciation is a bit negative for him because of his imports. 70% of their imports for a lot of their products come from China. Okay, we do have him back. I hope this time around the rainfall is normal. At least the audio run.
Okay, all right. Rajesh, I believe that we are audible right now. So just to take the point on exports, as you said, that rupee depreciation is a negative for y'all. So we got that people across the globe do not have dollars, and I think having some problem with the banking facilities as well, owing to that. Now, give us a couple of numbers. On the margin, what is it in terms of, because of the rupee depreciation? Is it still negative even on the margin? And also, what is now the revenue run rate you're looking at from exports in the coming year?
Overall, if I talk about sales, actually, we have launched several new products. So domestic business is doing fine. And also the institutional business is doing fine. In the export front, yes, there is a hit. So we are trying to recover. So in the first half of the year, we are not able to make much recovery. But yes, this is the peak quarter for exports. If I talk about Q3, here we would like to make a recovery in Q3 and also take it to Q4 so that at least we are able to maintain our the revised targets. Regarding the profitability, yes, there will definitely be a hit because we had a target to increase our profitability by 100 basis points. So it will be a challenge actually for us. Though the revenue of the company has been going up, but yes, these hits actually of the increase in cost and of course the depreciation of rupee, these are going to have a hit below the value.
So you're saying you're still holding on to your exports guidance of 150 crore this year, despite the first half being absolutely poor for you. You hope that there would be some amends made in the second half, and there would be a challenge to meet that 100 basis points margin improvement guidance. So should we then work with the same margins as last year, or there could be a chance that it could be lower than last year as well?
I don't see a chance of the lower margins, but definitely we'll try to improve it a little. So there are new launches, there are new products, so they should definitely be helping, and the new expansion should also be coming in. So they will also help us in improving our sales in the Q2. Q1 has been a fantastic sale year for us actually in totality. So the results are yet to come. I'll not be able to share the numbers, but it has been much, much better than the previous year. And in Q2 also, I believe we should be able to maintain that type of growth.
Right, and your capacity in Dahej was supposed to come on stream in the second quarter. Has it come on stream, and what kind of revenue are you expecting from this year and at full utilization?
Dahej full utilization is going to happen in the next year, but yes, the capacity is going to come in this quarter. So Diwali holidays, so they are plus minus things which are happening. But definitely in this quarter, the hedge should come up. And in the Chopanki, Rajasthan plant also, we had an expansion. The water trials are on. And we are targeting that in this month, after Diwali, we should start the plant. So the capacity will be coming at both the locations. And they will be helping us in growing in future.
How much can they increase your revenues by? I mean, just wanted to understand, because they'll be in full operationalization next year, how much can they contribute this year and once they reach full utilization?
Like we will get high double-digit growth in this year, and I believe we should be able to repeat the same in the next fiscal as well because of this help of these plants. So that will be very, very helpful in doing this actually.
Right. And what about the incremental revenue from the last new products that you added? You had guided for 5 to 6 new products this year. How many have you launched? I remember this Hachiman and Oxim. How much can they scale up this year?
Hachiman has been the highest selling product so far for us actually. When it comes to brand sales, we have crossed 50 crores revenue for Hachiman. And we also have supplied it to P2P, and it has a similar number actually. And Oxim also, the season will be coming shortly, and will be, I think, at least doubling, or will go up to 3 times in Oxim also. Along with this, we have launched several new brands actually. The key brands which have come far are Tori, which has come out of our own R&D center. Very good product actually, and it has done wonders in the market. And next year again, we are going to multiply. The consolidated revenue which is generated out of Tori and the partners whom we have made is again to the range of 75 crore plus. And then we have launched Shinwa, which has come from the house of Nissan. So this also is doing pretty well actually, and I hope that we should touch 50 crores this year, and next year we should be able to touch 100 crores out of this product. And we have recently launched Izuki again from Nissan, which is a mixture product. So this product is also doing very well actually. The total revenue, so because the launch has been just last month, so I think 2 months of sales we have got. So should do good revenue, and we should be able to multiply it again. And most recently, 2 days back, we have launched our new product called Star that has come from our R&D center. Again, we are expecting a revenue of just 10 crores because we'll be just hitting the season actually. But again, there is a possibility of multiplying it next year. So there are many products in the queue. As we are getting the registrations and as the plants are getting ready, we are trying to launch these products. So yes, still more than half a dozen products are in queue. And as and when we get the registration, we'll launch this. And some of the launches which has happened in this year are really big actually. And some of these products will touch 100 crores in the second year of their existing itself.
All right. And final question then. You were looking to enter highly regulated markets. You were looking at US, Europe and Brazil. What's the update on that? And back home, there has been a fair amount of uneven rainfall that both Nigel and I were talking about, during our conversation. What's the impact of that on your business?
Okay, I'll reply for both. US and Brazil, etc. means American markets. We have signed with certain companies and we are registering our products. So expecting some registration shortly during this year, and that business will start as we get these registrations. Some of the smaller registrations have come in actually, and we are waiting for the business to start in those markets. So yes, this is will be a good foray for us. And regarding the rains, yes, rains, whenever it happens, actually it impacts our business fast. So even if it is heavy rain or low rain or dry spells, everything hits us. And at this point of time, the rain is not needed because the crop is in the harvest situation, and it has delayed the harvest. And at some places, it might have hit the farmers also. So there may be some loss in the yields, but generally the prices of all the crops are very good, and the expectation is good because the rainfall which had happened was heavy only on one day, and in the next 2 days it was much lighter, which means that the loss to the crop would be minimal. So let's see how much it turns out. But yes, there is definitely a hit, and whatever sales was happening, it slowed down a little due to rain. But as the sun shines, we are expecting the last sales, which will be happening now, and then the first season.
All right, we take that point. There was a bit of an impact, but you believe that as the sun shines, the business will be back again and the lost sales will come back. That's about Insecticides India. Flat today, but has seen a big rally over the last few months. For the market, there has been a recovery. The Nifty Bank is back above that 39,000 mark, and that's primarily leading the Nifty higher from its lows right now. When we started the show, the Nifty was down by over 110 points, and now it has recovered about 60 points from there itself. Take a short break, come back, get you more on the markets and individual stocks.
Post-market, as JSW Cement, they announced that they are acquiring Springway Mining Private Limited from around 477 crore rupees. Springway Mining is a subsidiary of India Cements, and they own limestone block in Panna district, that's in Madhya Pradesh. Now, as per Motilal Oswal's note, they say that India Cements will also receive another 127 crore rupees odd, because that was an advance that was paid by India Cements to this particular subsidiary. So in all, the total transaction value is close to around 600 crores. What is the impact? Currently, the debt is close to around 3,100 crores. So it will effectively be a debt reduction of close to around 20% if they use all this money to reduce debt. And the other factor is the promoter intent. That is positive as well. What the street waits for next is Banswara plant. That has a capacity of around 1.5 million tons, or that would be a far higher deleveraging if at all that happens. And maybe the street was baking in that announcement as well could come. Let's see whether or not that is on the cards. Brokerages, Motilal Oswal, well, they have a sell rating on the stock, though they've increased the target price around 180 rupees. They say valuation-wise, the stock at around 15 times EV per EBITDA. Let's get Motilal's views up on the screen. 15 times EV per EBITDA and an EV per ton of close to around $80 per ton. It appears unattractive, particularly since the management has no expansion plans, and also the high net debt to EBITDA at around 3.2 times. Even Novoma, that's the erstwhile Edelweiss, they as well say the move is certainly welcome, but it's far from being anything major. If there is more deleveraging from here on, that could be a bit of a re-rating. Also, they say that current valuations at around 13 times EV upon EBITDA, that's not very, very cheap. So valuation, Mangalam, appears to be one of the factors out there, that it's now no longer cheap. And also the street is waiting for a bigger deleveraging story to play out.
All right, take that point. That's about India Cements. The street was expecting a bigger announcement, and maybe that's why it's lower and valuations non-supportive. But a stock that is doing extremely well, surging as we speak, is Automotive Axles. After Cummins has made an open offer to acquire 26% stake in the company, Sonia joins in with more on that. Sonia, the stock up 4%.
Oh, absolutely. The stock is up 4%. Volumes are picking up on Automotive Axles as well. As you rightly pointed out, Cummins has now made an open offer for acquisition of 39 lakh shares of Automotive Axles, which represents 26% of the share capital. Now, the open offer price is much lower than the current market price. It stands at 1,504 rupees. But this is a mandatory open offer that had to come from Cummins, because Cummins owns about 35.5% stake of Automotive Axles, due to which now this open offer has been made. Now, the other promoter, so Automotive Axles is currently co-promoted by BF Investments, which is a part of the Kalyani Group, as well as Meritor Inc. BF Investments holds 35.5% stake, and at the current market price, their stake is worth 1,137 crores. So now Cummins will be the co-promoter of Automotive Axles along with the Kalyani Group. The big question is, will the Kalyani Group tender into this open offer? Likely not, because, the share price is much above the open offer price at the moment. But if you look at Automotive Axles itself, the stock has had a terrific run. I mean, if you just pull up a one-year chart, or actually since Jan of 2021, the stock has more than doubled. Even in the last quarter, the earnings have been pretty good. The revenues for Automotive Axles went up almost 95.7% at 501 crores. And now with Cummins coming on board, perhaps things could improve on the management front as well. These are a couple of reasons why the stock is up. But of course, open offer made by Cummins, and hence stock is trading 4.5% higher.
All right, Sonia, thanks a lot for that. So that's about Automotive Axles. But as Nigel pointed out, it was BF Investments, which is surging as well, because it holds stake out there. With that, we wrap up on this edition of Chartbusters. Stay tuned, because Trading Hour comes up next.